Skin. The skin is the largest and heaviest organ in the body. In order for the skin to work as a protective barrier, it must cover the entire exterior of the body, from the top of the head to the ends of the toes. In total, the skin weighs nearly 6 pounds in its entirety and is approximately 2 millimeters thick, or 0.079 inches. Even though every person's skin is unique in terms of color, texture, and thickness, there are a few key similarities. There are two main types of skin on the body: the thick and hairless and the thin and hairy. Thick and hairless. This is the type of skin you will see on parts of the body that are exposed to a lot of friction, like the soles of the feet or the palms of the hands. It is, as it's described, thicker and doesn't have any hair. Thin and hairy skin, on the other hand, makes up most of the skin on the body and is much thinner but has hair. Even though the skin is very thin, it has 3 layers: the epidermis, the dermis, and the hypodermis. The epidermis is the outer layer of the skin. It functions as the strong protective layer. It also creates our skin tone. The dermis is the middle layer of the skin. It contains most of the structures of the skin, such as the connective tissue, hair follicles, sweat glands, and sebaceous glands. The hypodermis is the fatty layer at the inside of the skin. It's also known as the subcutaneous tissue, sub meaning under and cutaneous meaning skin. It provides cushioning for the skin and stores fuel for the body in the form of fat cells. It insulates the body and helps to maintain a regular temperature. There are 6 main functions of the skin. It protects the body from injury and infection. It maintains body temperature. It stores energy in the form of fat. It absorbs and secretes essential nutrients. And it produces vitamin D. And of course, it interacts with other body systems. Let's go through in more detail all the functions of the skin. The first function is protection. The skin's outermost layer, the epidermis, is composed of something called keratin, which is a very tough type of protein. Keratin helps protect the body from cuts, scratches, and abrasions. The fatty layer of the skin provides a cushion against trauma to the vital organs. And skin protects from infection by creating an acidic pH environment that microorganisms have a difficult time growing in. The sweat glands protect against infection by producing a substance called dermcidin, which has natural antibiotic properties. The skin pigment melanin protects the body from UV rays by absorbing the UV light, preventing damage to the DNA of the cell. The next function of the skin is temperature regulation. Maintaining the body's core temperature is one of the most important functions of the skin. The hypothalamus, the part of the brain that regulates body temperature, causes changes in the skin when the body's internal temperature changes. Blood vessels in the skin widen when the body is too hot to allow heat to escape. When the body is cold, blood vessels constrict and heat is retained. Sweating also helps to cool the body using evaporation. When the body is hot, the skin starts to sweat. And when the sweat evaporates, it takes heat out of the body. The next function of the skin is absorption and secretion. The skin both absorbs and secretes and stores various substances. It absorbs hormones, medications that are applied to the skin, and essential elements such as nitrogen and oxygen. It secretes small amounts of carbon dioxide, water, and waste products such as excess salt and urea. It stores water and vitamin D. Another function of the skin is vitamin D production. Vitamin D is produced by the skin when it's exposed to UV rays. Your skin contains a fatty substance called provitamin D3. It reacts to sunlight or UVB rays and produces vitamin D3. It is then passed through the liver and then out through the kidneys, being used by the body as needed on its way through. It's required for the body to be able to absorb important elements like calcium and phosphorus. Another function of the skin is energy storage. While we would all like the excess fat in our body to disappear, it plays an important function. If your body goes through a period of starvation, it relies on stored energy to keep going. The fat stored in the skin is an important source of emergency energy.